Today's class we're going to be looking at 3.3 aggregate supply or short run aggregate supply. So a little bit of review going forward. Aggregate demand, we have consumption, investment, gross private investment, government spending, and net exports. Today we're going to be going over short run aggregate supply. So we had the aggregate demand curve and government spending and taxes, things that would shift that. These are the things that will shift short run aggregate supply. So think about the business side, okay? So if you're a business, you have your costs, which are your raw materials or your input costs, and you have your labor, okay? So anything that raw materials, costs, wages, whatever, those would be a shifter of aggregate supply. So would productivity. If you can get your employees to make more product with the same amount of labor and materials, then that would shift aggregate supply to the right. Inflationary expectations. So if I expect things to get expensive in the future, then I would decrease my supply. If I believe things will get cheaper in the future, I would increase my supply, increase my profits. Any government action against your business, either by raising or lowering your taxes, providing you with a subsidy, or regulating your business, those can all change how much product you can make as well. So all these shifters of short-run aggregate supply would end up being things that would make the aggregate supply curve either shift to the right or to the left. All right, so the slope itself is going to be a positive one. With that said, we have a certain amount of price and a certain amount of supply the producers would do at a certain price level, okay? And when it comes to short run aggregate supply and the business themselves, think about the word sticky. Now the reason for this upward slope is because of sticky wages and sticky input prices. So our sticky wages and sticky input prices, what that's going to mean is these are fixed in the short run. So fixed in the short run means that they don't move, right? They stick, they stay in place. So businesses like to profit, don't they? They want to make profits. So if price levels are going up and your profit is going to be your cost minus inputs. So if those inputs like wages and costs, if those things are sticky in the short run, that means they're not moving. And this can be due to labor contract. It can be due to, raw material contracts, like a year providing such and such at this price. So all those things are going to be fixed in the short run. So short run is not a time period. It simply means that any one of these things are set and not moving. So if price level goes up, which is changes, so if there's a change in price level and it goes up, that means my profits would go up because my inputs are staying the same. So say over here we have a change in price level. I know that this upward slope means price goes up, supply would go up. So what that means is suppliers are going to increase their production, and that's going to lead to more profits in the short run. So why not make more of it all the way up to here and make better profits? It's going to increase supply, people are going to be working, and that leads to our upward slope. We know that in the long run that workers are going to ask for higher wages, or producer or suppliers of raw materials are going to raise their prices as well to match, because they're the ones out buying these products in the economy. So that's the reason we have these this upward slope, is because in the short run we have the sticky wages and sticky prices. The input prices are going to lag behind as price levels rise right here. The wages and input prices are going to lag behind. It's going to take them a little bit to catch up. So as soon as they catch up, that would put us back in long run equilibrium. And that's what we're going to do in a later video or lesson if you're actually in class. So get a look at our shifters for aggregate demand and aggregate supply. Then this is the reason the short run aggregate supply slope is upward.